An absolutely explosive second map from G2. In particular, this man on your screen right now, Shox, looked fantastic. They've carried us through to Inferno Risk, map number 3. Yeah. The loser is going home. The winner enters the playoffs with 3 Danish teams tomorrow.
Of course, going all the way, I wouldn't have it any other way, Harry. All the way down to the 3rd map. That's how CS is supposed to be played.
Yeah, and the 3rd map, the decider, is going to be Inferno, the map where all great deciders seem to take place.
Yeah.
Over on the right hand of the stage, that's the G2 camp. They are going to be feeling a little bit anxious heading into this one. I think they were definitely pegged as the favorites. That stayed true both with the betting odds and with everyone predicting them to win this out. We can see the odds on the screen right there. Do still have G2 as the favorites to win this. But Luminosity, let's not forget, I mean, not only have they been looking good, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the map that they originally bested G2 on just 2 days ago.
Yep. It was not the closest game in the world, but there was still some competition, 16-10. So definitely a chance for Luminosity, but I don't feel like G2 had Shox on the level that he's been in these last couple of maps when they played that first game. And if Kenny S can join the fray as well, then now I think it's going to be very hard for Luminosity to do anything to stop them, pretty much. But we're going to wait and see, as we are just a few minutes away from jumping into Inferno and finding out, as you said, who will join Fraxters, Heroic, and North in the semifinals tomorrow.
Yeah, now when they played on Inferno on day 1, let's not forget, it was a victory there for Luminosity. Had a strong performance in pretty much everyone, but it was Steel and Henny top of the board. Then you look over at G2, Existence finished, you know, with a positive score. Everyone else kind of falling off. And I think right now, one thing that's definitely going to be looking good for G2 at the very least is that Kenny was starting to find a little bit of form towards the end, but we have Smiths and Shox playing out of their minds.
Yeah, and that's the X factor right now. That's the change really between these two teams, or between today and yesterday, pretty much. Like, Shox is on another level right now. You can see it in his confidence. You can see it in the way that he moves around on the server. He's very easy, like, to read when he feels comfortable, and he's reached that level. It's taken some time after that injury, and to be honest, I don't think I've seen him at this level since before the injury, or before the surgery, really. And it's refreshing to see him coming back to the scene with such a punch. Yeah, it's taken some time, but it seems like he's finally here.
Well, there are the 10 players about to do battle inside of this server. What names should we be looking out for on either team, Risk?
Well, we've been talking about him, so I might as well talk some more about him. Shox definitely on the G2 Esports side. On the other side, I'm going to have to say Nekkis. He's been lights out so far for me in this series, in this tournament in general. Very impressed by him.
Well, let's see as we head on through map number 3, the deciding map. Who goes home and who moves through to the playoffs? G2 over on the T side. Smith's going to be sporting the utility, the rest of the guys with armor. And Luminosity, it's going to be fast into the apartments. They're not ready, however, for Shox, who might catch them unaware. Does tag up Nekkis, but Nekkis going to win the fight.
First duel will go the way of the Brazilians. But still, not much apart from that has been given away. They're still sitting at T stairs. But a rotation has come in. It's going to be 3 CT players on this B bomb site when the terrorist hit. Yell the first man, the first line of defense. Not going to get that first one, but Henny's there as well. Lucas on the back of it, allowing them into the fold. But Yell on the back of New Box. There are 2 players here, remember this. Lucas is here as well, but he's missing every single bullet in that situation. Doesn't need anything. And he's usually a guarantee for a headshot, but not this time around 2v2, but Nekkis is on 3 HP. Remember that. Steel does have a kit, though. This is doable. Existence. He was the star last time around at Inferno. Will be the star of this pistol round so far. 3 kills. Can't get another 4th, but no, Nekkis says no.
Oh, Smiths. One shot's all he needs, and he will be able to connect. It finishes the work that Shox started off earlier on. As he finally drops Nekkis. G2 going to find the pistol around here on Inferno. Looking to get their T side off to a strong start. And the saying is, start as you mean to go on, rather. That looks to be G2 are approaching Inferno here. Over on the side of Luminosity. Scout out for Yell. Rest of the guys with some pistols, some armor up on Lucas. It's a pretty conservative buy overall, though. That's going to give them that much more utility to work with. In it to round number 4. Smoke down over to CT from Smiths already. Looking like this could be a playing towards this B-bomb site right now. 2 players here, one on the other side of that smoke, segregated from Lucas, who sits on the coffins.
This is going to be very hard for Luminosity to do anything against. When they get this frag onto the bomb site, bomb's going to get planted, and then it's the Inferno B site post-plant situation, which almost no CT team can come good well enough out of. One thing we have to mention as well as now this round is pretty much over. Shox is just going to go hunting. It's the fact that like existence on T side Inferno is insane, and he can make players. I don't know how he does it. Like he took what the 16-14 against Na'Vi in the group stage of ESL 1, where they came back in such impressive fashion. I think they were down like 3-12 or something like that, and then they brought it back T side. And there's just something about him, and the way that he controls, and also sometimes just let the players have free reign in specific situations. He knows how to play his team, and that comes really into the showing on this T side on Inferno. So it's definitely one of the storylines we have to watch out for, and also the unleashment of Shox. If that's even a word. I don't even know.
I don't know if it is risk, but you've made it a word.
And now it's my word.
Yeah, that is. It's risky business in the realm of word creation.
Yeah. Screw a thesaurus. Not me.
I don't know if that's wise. Paper cuts would be pretty horrible, but it's, USPs across the board. And actually, Neck has already found one down in mid. So, not too bad a start, all things considered. They've dropped Kenny S.
Yeah. It's not supposed to happen, not against the full eco for Luminosity. Body throwing away the weapon. Good thinking. Don't want to leave anything for the CTs to grab later on in the round. B is completely open right now. And they're gonna go into this. They're gonna go into the stack. Let's see.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough, especially as Steel manages one more on the entry now. All these USPs chipping down the remaining players for G2, and he's got rid of body. Please don't lose to full USPs, G2. Not like this. Smiths is left in a 1v3. He has managed the first, and now he has to ace it to win this round. He has to leave A. He's going to go get the bomb down. This gives Luminosity time to grab rifles. There's 2 AKs down on this A bomb site. They've got time. Now Yell gone for an instant rotation. Not going to have anything to work with. Lucas, he's going to be grabbing an AK on his way around.
That was the AK at the bottom of it they threw away, or the rifle they threw away early on. So that's why you do that. Yell now has nothing apart from a USP to retake with, while Lucas, of course, has picked up an AK, I should say.
Yeah, and this is
no kid either.
A great example of throwing away that gun, the effect it's had, because they would have had 2 AKs heading into this now. That was the whole reason why Yell didn't retrieve anything, but sadly, it does not matter. I thought this could have been a textbook example for throwing away the rifle. Sadly, not meant to be. The defuse coming on through. It's going to come down to the wire, but I believe Luminosity have this. That's their first round on the board on the back of full USPs. They fight around, and yeah, you can see them smiling. They know that that should not have happened.
This is the face of a man who's just been full eco'd.
Yeah.
I would probably look more distressed than him, but you get the feeling. Double op setup, Henny and Yell against the orb of Kenny on the T side. Yell not going to go for the pick onto T stairs, just going to go hold the angles that we know he can control. And Kenny S with the orb here. Playing T side Inferno as an AWPer is always hard. And I feel like it's only some of the best players in the world who can really rise to the occasion and do that to perfection. But Shox has gotten steel to begin with, so it's a good start for G2. Henny is getting into deep water now. Down to the depths of the banana. He fears it and returns. safe positioning of the bomb site. But Shox is just like, he's taking his bomb site all on his own. There's no one nearby. Trying to sell the fake. But the rotations are coming in from CT spawn now. They've read it, Luminosity. Lucas rotating in. Secondary player also ready. Henny can land this shot. We'll get the first one.
What a frag to find. You've also dealt with Kenny, who becomes that much stronger once the bomb goes down, playing that AWP defensively. He falls, so now double AWP in the retake on B. Anything but ideal, and the bomb will go down. Body getting into position down on Banana. Bomb is planted for him. Existence darting the AWP over on quad, about to be tested. 2 players peeking in from the ruins. Existence misses the shot the first time around. Those smokes in CT gonna now start to dissipate. And Existence holding down the fort. Drops Yell, leaving Henny and Lucas, the 2 brothers, back to back. Fighting side by side, they're gonna start to retreat. Luminosity look to hold on to the AWP and the AK, trying to make some of these players go down at the hands of that bomb. And Lucas might have been able to do exactly that. Almost everyone in the server falling. Yep. Body stays alive, and he's just able to retrieve the AWP.
It's actually fun. Like, they technically have 4 very proficient AWPers on this G2 team, because of course Kenny is one of the best in the world with it. Smith used to do it as well. Shock can pick it up, almost can become that secondary AWP. And Existence used to do it back in the day as well. We see now on the back of Newbox, he has great success with it. Body hasn't spent much time with the AWP, but I'm sure he could probably pick it up as well. Just 5 AWPs.
I don't know if that's going to catch on anytime soon.
That's a new meta, Harry, okay?
Yeah,
Come on.
The Danish mastermind Risk. Not able to cut. Oh.
Okay, that's interesting.
Henny's got nothing. His brother is was always the favorite in the family, always got everything at Christmas, but...
Hey, it's me, your brother. Give me the Dragon Law. Send me the Dragon Law.
Yeah, it's worked out. Henny's been throwing it back. Body's found one in the meantime. Neck is able to find the equalizer. They keep on walking into him, but they do finally deal with the danger man for Luminosity. Henny's come rotating in along with Lucas. All the players here for the Luminosity side. The Brazilian stacking all 3 of them into A in the hope that G2 keep this offensive up, and it looks like they might just do that. Henny has the AWP. Players out from apartments, and Existence finds it. Yell. Not good for that. Instead, it's Lucas, and while he does manage to, Kenny is finally able to deal with him. It's more costly than G2 would have liked, but around is around, and now Luminosity have to eco.
4-1. Looking like a good start for G2. The only mishap was the one against full USPs, but yep. Now they're going to have another shot at that. Technically, out of the last 5 rounds, that was their best. Now they have another shot at it. Not really good logic, or logic in any sense of the word, but statistically, that is their only 1 round. Kenny S. Shox and Kenny, in general, firing away on all cylinders. Those are the 2 players we need to see right now. Full of confidence, full of frags, putting fear into the hearts of their enemies. And there's a reason to fear them right now. 5-1 up. Kenny's doing great on the scoreboard, padding some more, getting some more confidence. Shox is fine as well, trying to open up bomb site all on his own. Existence is on 6 frags. Smith's is on 6 frags. I love it when a plan comes together, Harry.
Well, it certainly has right now. Now the double Mac 10s, the 2 Mac Daddies, Smiths and Shox, going to be tested here.
This is the bonus round.
I'm taking a bonus round of round 7. It's probably as ballsy as it gets.
Yeah. Just trying to Vega Squadron it up. Name of the game. Put some pace on it. Split that A side open. But 3 CT players already waiting. Steal up on the balcony. Then it's going to be Nekis at Graveyard. And last but not least, Yell here with the AWP. Close range. But he's probably going to get flashed out. Met by a roaring Mac 10.
Here comes the push. Yell has the ult for Luminosity. Doesn't have armor to hide behind though, so Impulse is going to be a very real threat. The flashes come through, and Steel might be fully flashed, but he's still fighting frags. Neck is given way too long to stay alive there. At Existence now left in a 1v4. And while we commend his ability to play well and do insane things over on Inferno, that is too much to ask of the man. That A-site hold from Luminosity is just downright impressive. But also, you feel like G2 missing a few key shots. There was, I believe that was Neckers up in the graveyard who was allowed to stand there and spray a good 25 bullets from the M4.
Yeah, and they didn't get control over Steel either. Like, the first man just jumped directly into pit. So Steel was allowed to stay up there and at least get one frag despite being outflashed pretty much when the push came in. Here we go, they're trying it once again. This time around, there's only 2 CT players on this side, but they're going around the archway. Yell, can he stop them? Missed that one. Very close by, hits the second one. But here comes Nekis, and that's a triple from him.
That flash is perfect. That leaves it all onto Shocks in a 1v4. He's going to be wrapping around through Boiler. In response, though, you can see the aggression from Steel up in Apartments. That's where the problem is caused. He finds the first on the Neckers, but Steel is there straight away, able to trade in through the back. And Luminosity, the third round. Money for G2 now becomes a bit of a problem. They can buy on 2 of these players, maybe a third if you don't have head armor, but that's always risky up against the M4s. It will just be a partial buy-in from G2.
Enemy starting to grow on that CT side. Full buy on everyone apart from Yell. Lots of utility in the bag, and Henny on this B bomb site. Can he hold? He misses 2 shots in a row, and now Lucas also getting into trouble here. Flash goes over. They haven't pushed in just yet. They're gonna try to fake a run back towards the banana. Now they're gonna go in, but Steel he he's read them like an open book. Holding down T-stairs. They know it's going to come their way. What? Full flash, Henny. Just gets it anyway.
Henny 1v3. And now dead. The nade finds him. Luminosity 4-5. Closing this gap. Making their way back into this game and well on the road to fielding a good CT side. That said, for G2, 5 rounds, sort of the... I don't want to say it's a great number, but I mean, that shot's unreal. But yeah, that's just Henny things.
Yeah. Also, Neckers is having a really good game so far, as predicted. So, 3-2 stack again. The other way around. 3 on banana. 2 on the A bomb site. Steel opens up onto Shocks. That's in the Apartments. He has no refrag potential whatsoever. And that's the thing with Shocks, right? Because you imagine you can send him into anywhere on the planet, kind of drop in and just get frags, but sometimes even Shocks cannot do that. And that's why you need that partner with in that duo. Having that refrag potential wasn't present in this duel. Now the rotation has come around. Playing the normal 3-2 split with 3 on A, 2 on B. But they're still going to go in, I feel like. G2. Oh, Yell on point. They're getting shot out right now, G2. This game is back and forth. First is G2 with a great start, and then Luminosity bounced back. Breaking the back of G2. And the bank of G2 as well.
I'm going to try and throw out a B set piece. The smokes and flashes right on in. Ooh, that's a bit of a miscommunication there. Both smokes landing at the coffins. That leaves them with nothing now to cross at CT. Cannot imagine that was intentional. Going to try a run boost, but it falls short. Luckily enough, they've still been able to get by Henny, who's now trapped in emo. His brother tries to bail him out as Henny finds him, and Henny jumping around, not for joy, sadly, as that bomb goes down, and Smith's finally able to deal with him. Now a 3-on-3. And yeah, Kenny, good for 1. Neckers immediately in position to trade. Both players coming from CT, and it's Smith's and Existence left alive. Biding their time, pushing on in his Luminosity, the clock ticking against them. Existence finds that frag, and now it's just Yell in a 1v2. Time ticked too low for him, and he runs for the hills. It's going to be G2 moving swiftly onto a 6th round. The AWP, at least, will be held for Luminosity.
Yell will bring that into the next one. See what they're going to go for. They're going to go for the force hit. Force of force. It's going to work out. They have a double AWP set up. Money's not that big of an issue in this round, but in the next round it will be. Desert Eagle on Nekis. They still get 4 rifles out of it. So not the worst of setups, but if they lose this, it's going to be straight back onto the eco for Luminosity.
Yeah, at which point this becomes a very, very, very good T side from G2. So, a big round for Luminosity to win. Could be their way back in to this game. Would bring G2's economy down to its knees. This is such a crucial round. Effectively becomes a 2-for-1.
For both teams. Molotov being lined up. This is a jump from body. That's exactly where Nekis is. And Yell now behind the smoke also. Top mid control has been given away. The bomb being picked up now and probably rotated towards the banana. Sharks staying here to sell this, to make sure that they keep at least 2 players on this A-bomb site. And perhaps catch them in rotation. Henny onto Kenny. And now the push comes in. Nope. Held back by a bit.
Yeah, the Molotov from Lucas is perfect, but look at this. They're barreling back through banana. Over here towards A they go. Rotations come through from Yell, so there's only 2 players here inside of A. They're going to spot out the players at long. That's Nekis to spot it, but he's only got that Deeg to rely on, and everyone's flashed. Everyone's confused. Nekis able to line up the first. Existence in with the trade, and Yell other side of this smoke in the library. Bomb's going to go down for G2, and in these after plants, this is where the Frenchmen have been so good. Smiths is inside of Mini Pit. Coming through from long, and Lucas going to open up. Now it's Shocks and Existence. Left alive, wrapping around through long, and Lucas finds himself another. Shocks back against the wall, but Lucas dismantles them piece by piece. Luminosity, a 5th round. G2 losing every duel there, and that is going to be them now with no money.
2-for-1 is real. Well, might actually not be that real. They're going to go for the double hero AK play. Utility and pistols on the remaining 3 players. We've seen this work out plenty of times, so no reason to write it off just yet. Henny and Yell, both with AWPs here. Flashed out to begin with. Kenyes will take the leg shot though. Smith wins that duel against Steel on Banana. Low HP, but 1-man advantage for the T side. And make that a 4v4 now. Kenny's angle here is dangerous. It's just behind him, that nade. But now they're dropping into pit.
Yell trying to hold his own, is about to get pressured, and body finds him. It's Nekis. Not going to keep him in this round, but Existence. Oh, 1v2, make that the 1v1 as he drops Henny. And the bomb's going to go down. Existence given a tiny bit of time to breathe. Gets the reload off, but Lucas once again holds his nerve in the retake. The defuse going to come on through. The AWP carried forward. They lose 4 players though, so their money never given that chance to start to build up over on the CT side. And as a result of that loss bonus occurring, you could maybe even see another force come through for G2 in this scenario. Tactical pause called on in. That's going to be from the G2 side. Some time to mull this over, try and come up with the game plan into round number 13.
Lucas and retaking on that A side. He's been phenomenal at that exact job. No one seems to be able to match him right now. In the picture right now, Niak, the manager, of the G2 team. A guy that has followed Existence and Shocks for I don't know how many years. He's with them. Actually, I'm thinking he might even be with them before they joined Very Games back in, is that like 09 maybe? Might have even been with them in Redline back in 08. It's like a solid 10 years without never having played a game with the guys, just being the manager. He's a guy who's been around for such a long time. Very nice guy as well.
Well, see, the age-old saying, nice guys finish last, so let's hope that isn't true right now. G2 going to aggress up through Banana, looking like they want to go for a set piece into this B-bomb site.
Close range C-sets, they're always dangerous, especially if you can get that perfect flash in.
The one issue is, though, Lucas and Henny playing here, and they haven't been able to get past Henny too reliably. He's been so good at finding these openers, but this time he's missed it. Does leg up Smiths, but Body there to keep things even and always been surrounded. Kenny gonna topple his AWPing counterpart over on the side of Luminosity, and now he's got an AWP to play around with. The bomb goes down for a moment.
Yeah, they're expecting him to be here. But luckily for him, his teammate Existence is in there as well. Maybe just stack one or make one stay in ruins, the rest just rotate back in towards the bomb side, and now Nekas and the boys there going in.
Well, Shocks him with a quick double. It's all left on to Yell, and in a 1v4 that's asking a lot of the man. He's able to find Existence, but they're wrapping onto him. He's completely surrounded. Oh, they've gone for the knife and Body. Gonna go ahead and make some money there. It's more than that. That's showing some confidence over on the G2 side. You don't go for knives. You don't mess around if you're not having fun.
Shocks, nicely done by him. I'm very close to getting 2 knives in this round, actually, because just as Shocks got that headshot, a teammate of his jumped into the bathtub position with his knife up. And now, Old Eagles 1-5-7 on Steel. Step forth this first half has been Kenny S with the AWP once again. Kenny trying to make a difference, but that was a very, very hard shot to hit.
I mean, this force from Luminosity, it's a real moment where you have to pick your poison, but if they lose this, they're force buying into the last round of the half as well. And then the odds are G2 can find 9 rounds. Of course, the last time these two teams met on this very map in Valencia was on day 1, and Luminosity won it out there quite convincingly. This time, though, in this decider match, it's a different story altogether. They're the ones fighting back from a deficit. Steel, the aggression, all the way through apartments. He's going to spot the Shocks is here alone. That's freed up the rotation and meant that Yell's going to rendezvous with the rest of the guys at B. The only issue is, it might well be a fake. Steel has a lot to do. It's all on his plate. So many players to find, and he gets caught trying to back away. That's going to lead to his demise, and now the rotations have to come through from the rest of Luminosity. Just in the nick of time, this bomb is going to go down. Yell arrives here, 10 seconds left on the clock, would love to deny this bomb plant. Existence is the man to try and plant it, and he will get it down in the nick of time. Smiths dispatching of Yell from afar now leaves Henny and Lucas, the brothers, back to back. Henny now left alone, toppled. It's an 8th round for G2. No money for Luminosity, as we say, so the odds are it's a 9-6 half for G2 here.
To be honest, that's still pretty good for Luminosity, let's be real. G2 are a fantastic T-side Inferno team. And yes, of course, Luminosity would love to be on 7, 8, 9 potential. But 6 rounds is not bad. They still have a chance to get to 70. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's still possible. Lucas dying off early on doesn't help them. Now Henny. No one has seen him. Just on top of the smoke. Doesn't know Kenny's in the smoke. Nekis goes down as well. Now, to put all the eggs into one basket, and that basket has just been destroyed. Steel and Yell. The only forces remaining keeping G2 Esports from getting that 9-6 first half.
Yeah, make that just Yell. For G2, this is fantastic. They really have picked the time to show up. Shocks at the very end, going to lock in at that 9th round. Things are looking good for G2 here in the second half. Or at the start of the second half, rather.
Yeah, who else but Shocks? He's been the best player on the server throughout this best of 3 so far. I don't think there's a question about it. He was plus 18 going into this final map. The only closest to him is, well, Smith's his teammate, and Neck is on the other side. But this man here, he's been on point.
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, one of the reasons people get so excited about this roster is all the promise. I mean, if, you know, Shocks can turn back to the days of old, if Kenny can start to find his form, that's when this team gets exciting. Right now, they're out for revenge, and it couldn't be more fitting that it ends on the map that Luminosity bested them in on day 1 to send them into the lower bracket. And then they had to go through a journey to get here to G2. With a shot of making the playoffs now, if they close out this map. For those of you who are just joining us, Dust 2, the map pick of G2, the first map in the series, went the way of Luminosity, 16-14. It was then on Mirage, G2 took a convincing win, and now we see Inferno before our very eyes. They're in the driver's seat right now. Momentum definitely leaning their way, but Luminosity now on the T side. The smoke, 2 flashes on steel armor for the rest of the guys, looking to try and make some magic happen over here towards A.
Play here, Lucas trying to force this bomb site open. 4 players stacked up, and then 1 behind him in apartments. That's probably the go signal. Kenny S lying in wait. Won't hit anything. They get access to this bomb site, and Steel might even take it down here. He will. The stack on B did not work out for G2. Now the bomb has gone down. It's a 4v5 retake for G2, and they only have 1 kill and 1 flash to work with. Steel has been on point. 2 frags so far. Can he get a 3rd? Very close to doing that. But Existence now comes in. They have to put on their running shoes, G2, if they want to contest this round. Steel is still alive here. Smith's finally coming in with a frag. Yell on the back of the bomb site. Surely this is going to go to the Brazilians.
Yeah, so little time, so many crosshairs looking up at Smiths at the end. Luminosity find the pistol. Every single one of these maps has had a 9-6 half in favor of G2 at halftime. One of the reasons why we saw Mirage be so successful for them was the fact they were able to win out, I believe, that pistol in the second half to propel themselves up into the lead. This time around, they're Luminosity the ones to secure it. And this is going to be their way back into the game. 2 scouts out for G2. Effectively a budget double AWP.
Yeah. And then 3 Desert Eagles to join them. Only 1 piece of armor, that's body armor, obviously on body. But no head armor. But that's fine. They're against 3 AKs, so wouldn't even matter in that duel. Smiths. Missing that one. Oh, we'll do damage, but not getting a kill.
Luminosity creeping in. Out from apartments, players at the short position as well. Rounding the corner, it's going to be Neck to find the first. Smith's doing more damage. He has tagged up 2, but the save call already coming in from G2. They're going to look to hold on to the scout, the armor on body, the Deegs on Existence. An 8th round, though, for the Brazilian squad.
All right, Harry, we're getting closer. It's a tied game. Neck is on top of everything here on Inferno, but not enough just yet.
as these scorelines become ever closer, the pressure's definitely going to be leaning more to the G2 side of things.
Oh, for sure.
I think undoubtedly they were the favorites coming in. It feels like these are the guys with everything to lose. Luminosity, relatively speaking, a pretty new squad, bit of put together.
Yeah, this core of G2, if they know each other so well. The same as actually the core of Luminosity here. Steel and the two brothers, Henny and Lucas, also know each other very well. Then with the addition of Body and Smiths, who's also been around for a while. Actually, it's just Body. If you roll back the years, those four players, Shocks, Kenny, Existence, and Smiths. The amount of teams they played in, the amount of trophies they've amassed throughout the ages, staggering. Some together, some apart. But some of the great names in the annals of CSGO history.
Now in this round, Luminosity taking things slowly. They know that a little bit was carried forward by G2. They don't want to risk giving way around to these pistols in the same vein that we saw G2 struggle earlier on versus those USPs. Running down the clock. Players over on Banana, the bomb now rotating back to join them. Looks like it is going to be a play in towards this B bomb site. That's where 4 of these players for G2 reside. Straight into the trap. Luminosity about to, as you say, spring the trap as they start to round the corner. Into B they go. It's a 4-on-4. The flash is there, allows Existence to find himself the first kill. The trade comes through, and there's a man up on the boost doing damage. Kenny, dispatching of Steel. In the meantime, and Yell, they're desperate now to try and get this bomb down as the clock ticks down lower and lower. Henny finds Kenny, leaving Shocks 1v3, trying to deny the bomb plant. Can't make it happen, doing the damage, but Lucas locks in around for Luminosity. All tied up at 9-9.
It's very dangerous for Luminosity. Only a few more hit bullets on 2 of the players, and then they would have gone down low HP. Not far away, but here comes the buy for G2. Not the best of buys, missing some utility. No kits either. Kenny S is on a glass cannon, but it's way better than a couple of pistols.
You can see those GG bet odds becoming that much more narrow down the straight. Round 19 in this one. This is a big one. Decides which teams will be trying to pull ahead. I mean, for Luminosity, they can don a buy in the next round if they lose this. G2 don't have that same luxury, so the pressure is definitely on for the majority French roster. And as you say, there is a gap in that smoke that Kenny can look to exploit, but he won't be doing that as he falls on back, playing this more passively. Minute and 5 seconds left. Plenty of time for Luminosity here. Don't have to commit to A if they don't want to, but they haven't had any presence on Banana this entire round. Usually
walk into this.
Steel even dropping Smiths up in the apartments. That's going to be heavy man advantage picked up for Luminosity. They try to get by Existence, but he's knocked down too with the help of Yell. Now falling back into the pit. Him and Body locked down the bomb site. G2 coming in with the 10th round. And it's hot off the back of Body and Existence there, holding their own, holding down A. A tactical pause now called in for Luminosity.
Needed one. Mistakes were made in that round. The money right now will afford them a buy, but only just one. The economy is not going to be looking strong if they go ahead and lose this one. It's such a tight game, just a few couple rounds can make it all spin out of control. Still 3 pauses remaining, so plenty of chances to get Zach's feedback, to get everything talked through. That's not going to be the problem. It's going to be the buy. 2 pistols equipped and 2 AKs. And an AWP on Yell.
but Existence aggressively down mid, only good for one. Missed shot from Kenny. 4 on 4, and G2 trying to take control down Banana.
I really like that play, to be honest, from Existence, because what he does is he surprises the enemy, and yes, he only gets the 1-for-1 trade, but as he does that, he creates so much space for Kenny as to hit that shot. And 9 out of 10 times, Kenny's gonna hit that shot. This time he misses. But just the creation of space being made by Existence. Just to put some fear in them. Making sure that Luminosity, they're going to check every single corner, going to expect aggression at any single point in time. But now, Luminosity, they're moving towards this B bomb side, and Shock's here, and yes, he has been a god, but this might be too much for him to handle.
Well, he missed the timing on the first few players crossing, and as a result, he's not ready for Lucas. He's already inside of Ruins.
Unless they get a free opening right now on Body, they're not going to go for this. If Body dies doing this 1v1 duel, yeah, they're going to rotate back. They should rotate back. They're actually going for it. Wow. Well, get wrecked. Lucas picks up 3. 4 in total.
Even carries the AWP forward as well. Tactical timeout called in from G2 to try and discuss how to go about this round. The money has ran dry. Can't imagine a world in which they force the one where Living Shocks' money to grab an M4, but that's it. So the decision that will be made most likely going to affect how we see them play this next round. Luminosity, on the other hand, as long as they close it out versus the Vanilla Pistols, we'll be about to jump into the lead here on map number 3. This one resembling Dust 2 and how this has fallen between these two teams. It's right down to the wire, very back and forth. We all know how that one ended for the side of G2.
Seems like when you think that G2, they have the opportunity to bring it back, they kind of slips away from them. Now Luminosity with a big chance to getting a lead in the later stages of this game. 3 CT players stacked on B, but even if they run into B, it is 1 P250 and 4 start pistols.
I mean, something that's also important to note, when we saw G2 and Luminosity play on this map last time around, G2 managed a very, very strong T side there. Once again, they managed to get 8 rounds off the top of my head. And then I think they only were able to muster up 2 on their CT side. Yep. So,
but that's G2 on Inferno in a nutshell. Their T side is incredibly strong. Their CT side is not really up to the same kind of level. That's something that they're still working on. They're still a new team in that aspect. Nekis will take down Existence, and now the train comes rolling in. Shox has to do something, but can he do anything? Nope. Taken out through the smoke as well by Nekis, adding even more stats to that scoreboard of his, but Body coming in with the USP. Good damage. Not enough to take down Steel. And now 2 players remaining on that G2 side. Both of them with USPs. This is not going to happen. It's going to go away, making sure that they're not going to give a free kill bonus away to Luminosity. Just going to bring it into the next round.
I feel like in that situation there, G2, you know, wouldn't have minded sticking around and trying to do some damage. The $300 from a kill bonus isn't the most valuable thing in the world. And also, when you look over at Luminosity's economy, it's hardly in the best of spaces. They did a lot of damage there. They're going to be waiting down at the bottom of Banana as a result, hoping they can catch a few players coming their way. But that is just not meant to be. Luminosity now in the lead here in map number 3, 11-10. Here's the scoreline. Money building up here for Luminosity's T side, and the same cannot be said for G2. Once again, they've put all they've got into this round. The AWP going to be on Shox this time. as he plays the B-bomb site on his lonesome. Gonna try his hand, peeking down into Banana. Flash is there, and they turn up the heat and the pace over here towards B.
Only 2 smokes on the CT side. 5 flashes, no Molotovs whatsoever, no kit. It's going to be a very hard round to win. They need to win all of their duels, basically. Won't get any other help than that. That's why you put Shox out aggressive on the Banana. To kind of try to dictate that play to begin with. He's also solo B, so they stacked 4 rifles on that A-bomb side, and Bomb hasn't really decided yet where he wants to go, but now moving up towards Banana, and Shox is in trouble.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him. Body peeking over into middle, doesn't see anything. At this point, maybe G2 starting to get a little bit finicky. Maybe wanted to try and pull a player over towards B, especially as Kenny spots nothing down in mid. But that one smoke that rains in, that's enough to keep them there. Shox almost in with the collateral. Resistance has come rotating around. Man advantage right now in favor of G2. You can see Shox very aware that someone might try pushing into CT. They've done it time and time again, but this time the bomb goes down. They play it safe. A 4v5. Luminosity bunkering themselves down in this B-bomb site. Lucas waiting for the aggression through CT. All 5 players from G2 coming from this one avenue. Steel holding for the initial push in. He's going to find them both. Body answers back as best he can. Now Shox reigns in with one more. It all falls onto Yell. From over on Banana. Body topples him. The defuse going to come on in. It's going to come down to the wire. I'm not entirely sure which way this goes. It's going to be very close. And I think by the skin of their teeth, G2, 0.2 seconds remaining. They're going to find an 11th round.
Here we go. It's all tied up once more. Money on the T side is okay, so they can do the rebind. But as we see, like this game bounce back and forth, the economy is not allowed to grow that strong, and we even see Nekis forced to go on the Mac 10. Smith's keeping the farmers. 2 orbs on this CT side. That's probably the biggest thing to write about in this one. Kenny has up in apartments. Gonna explode his way soon. They have this double setup. Let's see if they can make it work. G2.
One of the issues with these is that you can get stuck on each other as you try to pull back. I've seen that betray teams in this position many a time. Smith's just going to get sacrificed to Lucas. Kenny, that Molotov's gone too deep, and he's not ready for Nekis up close. Existence is finally able to get the trade, but it's still a 2-for-1 in favor of Luminosity. Now he hops down into the pit, and we saw him a body with a stellar A-site bomb hold in one of the rounds they were able to get on this CT side. They have to do that once again, and body is only good for 1. Shox with the AWP in hand, forced to rotate away. And will be Luminosity once again, beating back G2, the Brazilians taking the lead. Only this time they've reset the economy of the Frenchmen.
These last couple of rounds been very good for Luminosity. Steel also having some real impact. Nekis on 21. Lucas on 19. Now, Shock's going to bring this all with him into the next one. That's a trade that will give Luminosity round number 12. And 3 weapons brought into the next round, building some economy. Still on 7,050, excuse me. And he's not going to really need that much money to rebuy grenades. This is a big advantage, and with that being said, it's going to be a timeout coming through. It's going to be called by Kenny S and G2. It's their 3rd out of the 4 they have. So what now, Harry? We're in the thick of it.
I mean, if you don't, then one of the men who's meant to be a star is just sat there playing around with the very nice, admittedly, DreamHack water bottles, or water boxes, because supposedly these are highly recyclable.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons for it. You know, all about sustainability here at DreamHack, saving the planet. 1 box of water at a time.
Oh, okay.
Shox as a Nova.
Harry, look at this.
That's the solution. That's the answer. Shox with a Nova. Kenny has an AWP. They put a lot of faith into Kenny S in this round. Now, he's been struggling in the series today. We need to see a return to form from him now more than ever.
It's going to be interesting. He has Smiths with him and Body as well with the CZ75. So if they go up towards these apartments, surely the CTs are going to get something done. And let's see how it plays out. Still plenty of time to go. Luminosity left to explore different avenues of the map. Existence being burnt away from his position. 3 players now inching their way in towards this B bomb site. It seems that it's completely clear. Existence is hiding towards CT and that's given his position away. Nade drops in, but plenty of players will follow. And now B is open. They might just save this.
Yeah,
all of it.
I think they're going to have to. That's all you can take with you into the next round.
Oh, Kenny. You can just see the frustration in his play.
And I mean, banding together, saving the AWP on Kenny, armor on everyone else, and a Nova on Shocks. That's the... that's what's going to have to try and dig G2 out of this horrible situation. All 5 players surviving for Luminosity means that money now becomes a non-factor for them. They're going to build up bank as a result. 13-11. It was looking so good for G2 coming in to this second half. They are up 9-6.
It's the Smiths and Shocks duo that's gone missing. Shocks is still having a good game, sitting around 100 ADR, 18-15. But Smiths is at 48 ADR. Comparing it to how well he was playing on Mirage, that's a big drop. That's one of the reasons why it's gone right for G2. Gonna try for the same stack again. In apartments, 3 players. Molotov once more in for the T side, and this might be the time that Shocks comes into play.
Yeah, that Nova holding close. Lucas peeks on into it. There's Shocks with the first.
Oh, they have the bomb now.
Yeah, gonna find himself 2 there. Smith tries to answer back. Kenny chimes in now with the AWP. The bomb's dropped up here in the apartments, and Smiths will be railed by Yell. Kenny finds one in this round. The flash is perfect for Henny's fully blind, and he's made this round possible now for Luminosity. Besting Kenny. One of, prolifically the best AWPers in the world. Bested by Henny while he's fully flashed out in the thick of mid. Existence left 1v2. The bomb on the back of Yell, and Existence hiding.
Luminosity have to make mistakes now for this to go wrong.
I most certainly do. Existence hears the footsteps. He's going to bide his time, wait to try and catch them while they're planting that bomb. Now edges his way around, but the volley's been missed, and on the back of that, Luminosity find a 14th. That's a sad sight to see, that look of devastation on Existence's face. He knows that if he finds one of them, that round's possible. And everyone on this G2 side just looks heartbroken right now.
Totally flat, no energy. We even have the phase replay. We have the technology, Harry.
It's sad to see.
Yeah. I'm actually getting sad by watching Kenny being sad.
Not even just, I mean, the whole roster looks so deflated. Yeah. And I mean, they're really going to be in their own minds at this point. You saw them on Mirage, there were smiles, fist bumps all around. But now it's frustration.
Trying to get the knuckles going, Smith trying to hype the team up. And the only one not showing any emotion is the manager Niak, stoic as ever. Here we go, Harry. This could very well be the round that ends it all. Luminosity on 14. G2 on 11. This is the full buy for G2. They have all the tools at their disposal. Almost all of them. Existence deciding to go on the FAMAS, which is probably the best choice to get some more utility with him and the kit. So they at least have 1 kit. 3 players stacked towards A. Kenny is towards the arch. Terry Star coming up. And this is where he usually makes the difference. Kenny S, or at least back in the day. Here comes the explosion.
Well, Kenny mistiming, gets into the bomb site. It's existence from inside the pit to find the first. Missed shots from Kenny, and he's going to get toppled inside of A. The bomb goes down here for Luminosity. Shocks and body. They're backing away. They're saving. Match and series point going the way of Luminosity. This map, let's not forget, decides who goes through to the playoffs and who will be heading home. G2 coming into this matchup, coming to this entire event as some of the favorites to win it, might make an exit in the groups.
Sadness for G2, but smiles for Luminosity. We saw Lucas there with a big grin on his face as they took that bomb site.
Well, yeah, I mean, what a bright future this roster might have. Of course, you know, recently kind of coming together. It definitely has all the ingredients to be a successful team. This being one of their first real tests, and they're definitely delivering right now. 15-11. One round is all Luminosity need to send G2 home and secure their spot in the semi-finals tomorrow.
This is it. Backs against the wall. Need to grind 4 rounds. And of course, thanks to the loss bonus, they have money enough to keep flying, but not enough money to get Kenny S on the AWP.
For G2, 3 players over here towards B. Going heavy on their B site defense. There right now is body, shots, and existence. Leaves Kenny and Smith to lock down A. Luminosity not leaving anything up to chance. It's a slow and methodical round, taking control of the top of Banana. Now turning their attention towards the top of mid. From there, they hold down the 2 main avenues on this map that you look to take control of.
Still a lot of utility remaining for the CT side. That's the bright side. Only 1 Molotov remaining. And that goes there for the terrorists. Now, everything is raining in towards this A bomb site. But the bomb is going towards Banana. Only got 1 flash and 1 smoke left. And so much utility left for the CT. Smokes and Molotovs still being put out now, but is it enough?
The wraparound coming in through CT, but bodies posted up, ready and waiting to go. Lucas manages 1 kill onto Smiths, but that's over here at A, and the bomb still at B. Could get denied. There inside of the site is Shox. He still has that Molotov left. If he throws that out, they're going to have to push through it, and now they go running through the fire and flame. Shox, he's going to miss. The bomb goes down here for Luminosity. It's a 3 versus 3 retake. It's Yell waiting at the base of Banana that could secure this round for Luminosity. They line up for him, and now it's body. With the hopes and dreams the G2 rested on his shoulders, that might be too much to bear. He's going to have to 1v3 clutch this to keep G2 at DreamHack Valencia. And Henny holding down the angle. Luminosity close out this map, and in doing so, close out the series, winning it 2-1 over G2. It smiles all around for the Brazilians. And over on the G2 side of things, O's are some pretty sad faces if you've ever seen them. Their journey here comes to a close, and Luminosity, they've secured their spot in the semi-finals tomorrow.
What a game by Nekus as well. Throughout all 3 maps, he was on point. The brothers as well, chiming in when given the chance, and G2 will go back to the drawing board for this one. GG's all around, and big congratulations to the Brazilians. They are our 4th and final semi-final team.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 Danish teams, 1 Brazilian in the semi-finals. Yeah. So the odds stacked against the Brazilians, but they're looking to try and do well here at one of their first events with this current squad. I think they look impressive right now.
Yeah, very impressive as well. And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be facing up against Heroic in their semi-final, and it's going to be North Fraxters. So that's going to be a very interesting game. To be honest, Heroic and Luminosity, 2 of the best-looking teams in this tournament.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, I think Luminosity kind of coming up a bit unlucky in who they end up matching up against. Yeah. I think Heroic and Luminosity have looked fantastic. But in that game there, Luminosity, if they can keep that form up, I think they're going to be no easy feat for Heroic. But to break that down, have their say on the action, we're going to go over to the desk with Trace and the two lovable analysts.
Lovable. It's as if you guys are some sort of animals, and perhaps I don't think I would appreciate that if I was.
Apparently I'm an anteater.
Well, I mean, you do have this sort of Australian thing
How
going
long's it
on.
done?
Either way, check it out, boys. Luminosity has done it. They have punched a ticket onto the semifinals here at the DreamHack Open Valencia, and that will all be taking place tomorrow. But for the time being, let's kind of talk about this matchup at hand. Let's not perhaps go straight for the silver linings, Chad. Perhaps
Give it a bit more juice.
Let's give it a little more juice.
Well, I think in that first map of Dust 2, it was just time and time again where they were stepping up as individuals in the early phases of that game. Anyway, Henny with some cool highlights going on there on that map. And the fact they were able to steal that away, it shows what we were talking about. The X-Factor players, Henny, Lucas, Steele. Steele's 1v3 on that Dust 2 game was also one that I think it wasn't a breaking point because it was back and forth, but a hugely pivotal round, and these are the things that we were talking about. Moving on to Mirage, Shock stepped up. He was the hero. He actually kept them in this. I thought after Dust 2 was when I thought it was done and dusted. I thought we wouldn't be going to a third. Thought we'd be all over. But then when we did get to Inferno, this is the thing, these post-plant scenarios, some really misplayed situations from G2, and they're going to go back and they're going to watch these demos and they're going to question, why did we peak in this scenario? What was the miscommunication here? What was the issues? Because they were clear to us, but we don't have all the information. We don't know what's going on in the server, but there were some clear problems.
Even across the board, I mean, I'd say there's some pretty chaotic moments from both teams. We can take a look at some of the highlights now across the entirety of this last best of 3 of the day. And, well, you know, Steele was on a tear right here on Dust 2.
Yeah, Steele was on a tear, but I just want to point out Nekiz, right? He pretty much almost top fragged in all the 3 maps they played. But then again, there were so many moments, like so many weird plays coming out, like pushing through a smoke and a Molotov towards long doors. When you're in a full buy against a full eco, why? There's no need to do that, right? I don't think they were punished enough for that. But then again, I completely agree with what Chad said. Like, you know, they weren't really punished by G2. G2 made too many mistakes, too many individual plays, and one glaring thing was Kenny S never showed up this entire series. He bottom fragged in the first 2 maps, even the third one, he just had 14 frags. Like, that's something which you rarely see. 48 frags, he didn't really show up, and we needed him to come up. Shox really did what he could, but then when you have players like Nekiz, who really didn't speak about much during this entire tournament, he stood up. Lucas had his huge moments as well. Henny was hitting some nice shots, and there's one round in Dust 2 where they had just deagles, like 3 deagles, and it just ran in 3-1 deags, win the round. When you're facing off fraggers like that, you just can't rely on, you know, just hitting your shots. You need to have something going for you.
You need to have something going for you, and right now, everything is going for this next gentleman. We're going to have a word with Yell of Luminosity Gaming. Congratulations, my friend, and, well, you do have a ticket now to the semifinal. How does it feel, big guy?
Thank you very much, Tuna. It's my first playoff, so I'm really happy. I cannot describe, like, right now.
Oh, that's good. Look, I have a question. I want to kick it off here with the Dust 2 game. Towards the end of that game, it looked like, to me anyway, that you guys were just trying to bully that B bomb site where Smith's and Existence was holding. Was that the game plan?
Yeah, like the last round, we just exploded B in the smoke because we knew that Smith was playing alone and Existence was playing like towards mid, so we knew we could like trade him and get the bomb site for free.
Okay, so just building on that, on Mirage, it also looked like in the early stages your game plan was to attack B a lot. Was that also what the plan was? Because when you had to adjust in the middle of that first half, it looked like you guys didn't have too much more to fall back on.
I think we changed too much in the Mirage game. I think we should have stick to the plan, and we kept going B and lose many rounds, and then I don't know, we had no choice, you know.
My question is, how come Steele's not here, and how come you're going to be the, you know, you're doing the interview? This is a change for the first time. You know, a team where Steele plays and he's not been sent in to do the interview.
I don't know. In the last LG, I was doing all the interviews, and he didn't want to do it right now. He said, "Go there, yeah," and then I'm here.
Now that's a team player.
Yeah, he's given. Well, he's the first playoffs you've made, so it's probably a good reason to put you in front of the camera, mate. But look, obviously, congratulations on that. Inferno towards the end there, it got really tight. What was the, I guess for you, the turning point in that last map of where you knew you'd taken the game? I think for me it was at least when you forced them onto that save round where they had to save 4, they had the shotgun, they had some 5.7s or whatever, and at that point it looked like it was all over.
Yeah, that round was like really hard for us. It was me and Henny against 3 people, I think, and we just won the round and reset them, and that's it.
Last question from my end would be on Inferno. It was very different in your CD side compared to yesterday's games, where you kind of had a less aggressive setup, so to speak, at least in apartments towards mid, for example, right? You guys were like kind of turtled up in the side, playing a bit more passively. Was it a conscious decision, or was that based off, you know, how you thought these guys, how G2 would play?
You mean this game we play less aggressive?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the CD side.
It's because we knew that they would stud us, and we tried to do like something different. There was a round that they smoked Moto and went fast Arch, and because we didn't play Arch last game, so we knew that this was coming, and we could like do something different and counter that.
Well, one last question I have for you before we let you go, man. Your teammate Nekkas went off this entire best of 3. What do you have to say about him, man?
For me, Nex is a monster. If he's feeling it, he can be like the best player in this game. But I think he needs to work on his emotions, because if he's confident, he can like be a monster. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
pretty much it.
I think you nailed it. And again, you guys did nail this best of 3, which qualifies you for the semifinals tomorrow. Thank you very much, man. Have a good night. Go enjoy some tapas and really just enjoy Valencia for what it is.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Outstanding. I do like that another player has come forward and said, you know what? It's cool. I'll do the interviews. It's fun.
Taking over the team.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. There seems to be a guy who just gets thrown in front of the camera all the time. I know some teams share the duties.
You know what duties I'm going to have to share right about now? It's Mission Impossible time, baby.
Mixwell here, the Spaniard with the AWP in hand, takes one, peeks out wide for the second, is going to hit the shot, the flashes will rain in, and he's blind, but the third, he lands it! Swing over towards long, a quick flick, and that's the fourth. Can it be the ace? Mixwell, the magician!
He does it. He has delivered time and time again here, especially in Overpass. I think he aced twice.
Yeah, twice, 2 aces back-to-back almost, right? In 4 rounds.
To be run down like this in this scenario and just keep pivoting with the AWP, not an impossible feat, but he made it look easy.
It was the Mission Impossible moment of the day, though. If you didn't know what that was all about, perhaps you should go watch the first Mission Impossible all the way up to the newest installment in the series. It's going to be Mission Impossible Fallout, which will be in theaters soon. I think I said, what, 2.6 billion in the box office or something like that?
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Usually when you talk about big numbers and money, people start turning their heads and what have you. Either way, I do believe that we could take a quick look at the brackets and, well, what we can anticipate for tomorrow when it comes down to the playoffs. We have the semifinals followed by a grand final, all of which going to be a best of 3, kicking it off with Fractures versus North early in the day, and then Heroic and the team we just watched, Luminosity, squaring off in the second semifinal. Both well, I should say all 4 teams vying for that spot within the grand finals themselves.
The bloody Danish fans are going to be obnoxious as hell, aren't they? That's 3.
You want to jump off that
3
bridge,
Danish
or?
teams in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
It's true. It's very true, Chad. I want to just go ahead and take this time to thank our sponsors that made this all very possible. Astro, Corsair, Monster Energy, and we can never forget our friends at Hacks GG for bringing us those top 3 reasons each and every game. That does it for us today. That does it for all of the elimination matches. And tomorrow we start squaring off with the semifinals and then on to the grand finals. My name's Trey Saranthus, and I'll see you there.